Hey y'all, hey, I have a request to do a energy reading on the late great Miss Phyllis Hyman. And so without further ado, I'm not gonna hold you all too long, okay? So let's get into the overall energy of what she wants to say through the tarot deck, okay? I'm honored. And so I think she is very, very like beautiful, goddess like, and so she is like her music is like timeless. Phyllis Hyman. So I see the Nine of Cups, okay? This is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And whenever I see the Nine of Cups, right, this is like the throat chakra, okay? Because I see a lot of blue, but this deals with your emotions too, right? So this dealt with how she felt about herself or how she did, or how she felt about others. And so I feel like there was some seeking of clarity, of emotional validation with the people she was around. And when I see the Nine of Cups, right, I think of completion, but I also think of a wish fulfilled. I also think about not allowing people or like enabling or handicap people to try to mold you to what they want you to be, okay? So there's about emotional fulfillment. I don't know if she knew that. I feel like now she knows that she's a treasure chest full of jewels, but I think then I don't feel like she fully knew, okay? I'm seeing the Nine of Swords, okay? And so this is Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. And so this is emotions. This is mental, thank you. And so this is about anxiety, fear, depression, worry, sleepless nights, okay? And so this Nine of Swords dealt with like mental. It was her mental. There was always intrusive thoughts spiraling out of control, okay? I also see the Eight of Cups, right? This deals with disappointments, abandoned issues, okay? But this deals with emotions, okay? So this deals with like a lot of disappointments that she had to walk away from, and they could have dealt with some abandonment issues. I'm also seeing the Goddess of Wands, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries, okay? And so this was like doing things that added to her fuel, her passion, her purpose, trying to do things that allow her to stand in her power, stand in her energy to motivate herself the way she or her songs motivated others, okay? I'm also seeing the Two of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So when I see the Two of Cups, like, I think about a partnership. I think about soulmate connections. And soulmate connections don't necessarily have to be like a lover. It could be a mother and a daughter, a father and a daughter, or like a friendship, cousins. Like, it doesn't have to be like, physical, like sexual. It could be like a partnership, like best friends, okay? I'm also seeing the Three of Cups. This Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. When I see the Three of Cups, right, I think about celebrations. 111 or 1111 is very, very significant. When I see the Three of Cups, right, I think about graduations. I think about celebrations. I think about pregnancies, wedding announcements, engagement announcements. Like knowing that your vibe is your tribe. I think of a feast, and I see the Fool. So this Fool card, right, is about embracing new beginnings, but it could be also that there were she maybe felt like a fool, or there were a lot of fools around her. I do know there was a lot of fools around her because I just now heard drugs. And so there was a lot of foolishness. There was a lot of drama. There was a lot of like the energy of a lot of people walking off the edge or coming up to close to the edge, trying not to lose their head or their cool. Sometimes it makes me wonder. It's like I'm hearing it's a jungle. And I don't even know who sang that song. I see the Daughter of Cups. There's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So there was like a manifestation or like a need, a want. I feel like she wore her heart on her sleeves really, really well. I mean, or really, really big. And she was manifesting things or wanting to manifest a love, some type of love. Maybe it could have been self-love or love with another, okay? I'm seeing the Six of Pentacles. So when I see the Six of Pentacles, like I think about generosity. Okay, I think about balance. There's about a give and a take. There's Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, and I feel like that's I feel like a lot of people took her kindness for weakness. I feel like this, even though this is Earth energy and this deals with like finances, money, health, okay, grounding your energy, and it's the number 6 is about healing and finding balance. But I feel like this right here, the green dress is standing out and it's giving me heart chakra. There was a lot of heart hurt, heavy-hearted, imbalances in the heart chakra, imbalances in the heart. I'm seeing the Three of Wands. There's Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. I feel like she was trying to find her path. She was trying to find her purpose in spite of. And I feel like this about expansion. It's about growth. It's about taking action to find her purpose or her passion. And so there were some things that, like, I feel like her throat chakra was also being blocked. Like, there were some things she wasn't speaking up. There were some things that she wasn't saying. She was singing, but she wasn't saying them because there was some type of chaos and confusion. It's the Five of Wands, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And so this deal with the heart chakra, solar plexus, root, intuition, crown chakra, okay? I see the Ten of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is about completion, long-term relationships, commitment, knowing that you are number one in your reality, wanting long-term commitment, relationships, wanting the house and the white picket fence, okay? And I'm seeing the Ace of Wands, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. It's about taking, like, action. It's like fire energy. It's masculine energy, okay? And then I see the Ace of Cups. This is about clarity and an overflowing cup of love, okay? So I'm going to see what's in this deck. Lipstick on a pig, okay? This is artifice, denial, cover-up. There was some cover-up, trickery, superficiality, okay? Foolishness. There was a need to look closer. People were not looking closer. I'm also saying whatever floats your boat, okay? So it was like whatever she wanted to do, whether it was drinking, pill popping, fulfillment, enthusiasm, follow your bliss, and money comes, passion, project, do you. There's do you, this all emotions. And so I feel like there was an emotional imbalance also. A need to, it's like the energy of always celebrating, doing something to always make those emotions or to numb those emotions. We have, aren't you just precious? This is the number 5, but this about like fire energy, taking action. This is suffering fools, disdain, displeasure, contempt, poking fun, read between the lines. So there was some disdain, there was suffering, poking fun. I'm hearing again, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And so when I see this, this reminds me of like the Nine of Cups. There's about a need for self-love, self-reflection, self-love, relaxing, regeneration, society. Within replenishment, there's a need to replenish the heart chakra, solar plexus, light candles, cleanse. Over yonder, there's the vibration of 7. There's about overcoming obstacles, focus. There was a need to focus, to look forward, and anticipation, potential, eyes on the prize, choices, surprises. This dealt with the heart chakra, throat chakra, sacral chakra. Sweating like a sinner in church, okay? This says guilt, remorse, nerves, worry, confession, coming clean, apology, integrity needed. So there were worries. There was a need to come clean. Anxiety, remorse, okay? And so she felt guilty, but things felt heavy. Things were heavy. At the time, she didn't see any way out, but change. And so she knew there was a need for change. There's a vibration of 9, completion. 999 is very, very significant, okay? Also, the name Amy, okay? So if there was a change, some type of change took place. There was a love offer. When I see the love offer, there's all choices. A need to pour into self. And someone could have came with a love offer after or before. But there's all choices. Some type of love offer. And I'm seeing surprise. And so there was some surprise. It could have dealt with, it was like no hate, but... and so this is like some type of obstacle, surprise, boom, and the veil has been lifted. There's about choices, decisions. It was a veil that was lifted. Someone's true colors, there was a stench, okay, and someone's true colors. There's about like the veil was being lifted. It was about being or seeing two sides, okay. I'm seeing the Ice Queen. And so there was also an ice queen involved. She could have been considered the ice queen. Maybe people feel like she was the ice current queen because there was depression, anxiety, and worry. There's also unexpected money. People expected money, unexpected money, and planned money. The vibration of 9. There's earth energy, a need to ground one energy, health, financial gain, material possessions, wealth, chakras. Chakras need balancing, clarity, manifestations, wanting to feel balance, wanting mental clarity, wanting like peace, peace of mind. And so moving on, she felt like she had to move on. There's a need for healing. She had to move on. She felt like she had to move on. Okay. Also divination. I see divination. And so there is, I feel like she was spiritually connected. She was definitely spiritual. And so I feel like her ancestors left her. They protected her. There's the ancestors. And I feel like now she is one of the ancestors. But there was some mental conflict, emotional conflict. Okay? Mental and emotional conflict. Let me see. We can see this. I just want to see what's going to come out this deck. And then I'm going to let y'all go. Because I said I was going to hold y'all too long, right? So let's see what's coming out this deck. There was a bugaboo. There was a lot of bugaboos. There was a lot of nagging around, keeping you a secret. Someone, or she felt like someone was keeping her a secret. Okay. I'm also saying movie date. So maybe that day they were supposed to go on a movie date or a date, or you know. And so protecting yourself. And so she felt like she was protecting herself, needing to keep yourself safe. Running away. She was running away. And so it could have, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it dealt with a lot of toxic things, okay? There was drinking, situations about to explode, okay? So there was a lot of toxicity, a lot of mental and emotional demons, okay? Depression, okay? Depression. And so with that being said, I thank you all for watching this. Thumbs up, comment, and don't forget to subscribe, okay?